The Emperor Who Turned into a Stork. The Emperor was always bored. One day, he stared at the ceiling, he picked his nose, and threw a stone into the pond. Just then, a merchant came to him.
My wares are from many different countries.
The Emperor looked through all the merchant's wares. Eventually, he found a box.
What is this box?
This is something very special.
The merchant gave the Emperor a quick sideways look. Inside the box, there was a piece of paper with words that he could not understand and a container of dark powder.
If you like it, then it is yours, Emperor.
After hearing this, the Emperor knew he had to buy the box. He could not wait to find out what the words on the paper meant. The Emperor summoned the smartest scholar in the land. The scholar read the words on the paper very slowly.
If you swallow this powder and say, "Mutabu," you will turn into an animal. When you want to turn back into a human again, you have to face east and bow 3 times. Then you must say "Mutabu" again. However, you must never laugh. If you do so, you will forget the command.
The Emperor could not sleep at all that night. He was thinking about what animal he should change into. The Emperor and his helper left the palace secretly.
What animal would be good?
At that moment, some storks on the pond were making loud noises.
That's it!
The Emperor and his helper swallowed some powder and yelled,
"Mutabu!"
Suddenly, their legs became thinner and their arms changed into wings.
Wow, we've really changed into storks.
The helper spread his wings and jumped around. The Emperor stretched out his neck and walked proudly. The Emperor and his helper listened to the conversations of the other storks.
Do you want a frog's leg?
No, thanks. My bottom keeps getting bigger. Anyway, I'm too busy to eat. I need to practice my dance. The stork raised one leg and spread her wings to practice her dance. Soon after, she fell over. The Emperor and his helper burst out in laughter.
How funny!
What was the command to return back?
Bravo! No!
Then, Buddhari?
The Emperor and his helper sat down. No matter how much they thought about it, they could not remember the command. They sat looking at the passing sun. On their blank faces, tears began to flow. A few days later, a rumor spread that a new emperor would arrive at the palace. The new emperor was the son of the merchant. The merchant was really a sorcerer who wanted to make his son the ruler. He did this by pretending to be a merchant and deceiving the emperor. After hearing this rumor, the emperor regretted his actions and collapsed to the ground. At about that time, a strange sound could be heard from an old castle nearby. I am an Indian princess. The sorcerer turned me into an owl because I would not marry his son, complained the owl princess as she wiped her tears with her wing.
Like you, we also have suffered.
The emperor told the owl princess all about their story. The owl princess stopped crying. She spoke to the emperor. Once a month, the sorcerers come to this area and brag about their evil doings. Probably at that time, you can hear the command to turn back into a human.
Really? Owl Princess, please tell me what day.
The Owl Princess spoke to them in a soft voice. One of you has to marry me. That way, I can turn back into a human again. The Emperor took his helper outside to talk.
Will you marry the Owl Princess?
Asked the Emperor.
What? I have been married a long time. Actually, since you are still not married, how about you marrying her?
Replied his helper.
You mean to say that an emperor should marry an owl princess?
The Emperor realized that there was no other choice. He stretched out his wings and spoke to her.
I will marry you, princess.
The Owl Princess shyly bowed her head. Thank you. The sorcerers will gather here today. The Emperor and his helper followed the Owl Princess through a narrow hallway. Inside the next room, the sorcerers were chattering loudly. The sorcerer that had tricked the Emperor was amongst them.
The idiot emperor has fallen into my trap. Ha ha ha! So, what was the command? It was Mutabu.
As soon as the Emperor and his helper heard this, they ran out of the castle. The Emperor and his helper faced the rising sun, bowed 3 times, and yelled, Mutabu! Just then, with a magical poof, they were humans again. They hugged each other in happiness. The happy Emperor saw something move behind him. A beautiful young lady was sitting there.
Is that really you, Owl Princess?
Yes, I am the Owl Princess.
You are very pretty. Come with me to my palace.
The 3 of them went to the palace. The Emperor punished the sorcerers. The sorcerer's son, who tried to be the Emperor, was given the dark powder. He was changed into a stork and was tickled to make him laugh. Then he was put in a birdcage. The Emperor and the Princess got married and lived happily ever after. Sometimes, when he got bored, he acted like a stork. He would make a kek-kek sound and waddle around the palace. Then the queen would shyly make a hoot-hoot sound. Their children laughed so hard their eyes filled with tears. Laughter never left this palace.